Hello everyone from the Satsu Nation, it is your boy Satsu, and I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to all of my patrons and new patrons that have jumped on board. I appreciate you guys supporting me, and I'd like to also say thank you to any new subscribers that I've gotten since my last video. Welcome to the channel, and hopefully you enjoy the video. So yesterday I put a post up on Twitter talking about how a lot of SJW arguments are built solely on technicalities, and the fact that they're pretty proud of that fact. As a matter of fact, they pedestalize it a lot and talk about the fact that they have all these solid arguments that are literally just technicalities that they've turned into, I guess what you would consider a solid argument. And I just wanted to run through a few of them because a lot of them are just pretty hilarious, and just the equation that they've kind of come up with to create this narrative is crazy. It's pretty interesting to behold. Now, we live in a very strange time where if you're technically something, or if you're basically something, then that means you're 100% that thing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All you need is a slight technicality, and then you can just run with it. And the reason that technicalities are so important to SJW narratives is because they run off hypocrisy. And it's easy to go back on a technicality and refer back to the actuality, because of the fact that if you know, for whatever reason you get caught up in your bullshit or whatever, then you can actually refer back to the actuality, and then whenever it benefits you, you can revert back to the technicality. It's a very nice system that they have set up to where they can be hypocrites, and they always have an excuse to get out of being a hypocrite. We'll start off with racism. Racism is a very interesting tool that they've used to kind of mold their narrative in all different types of shapes and forms. So literally sneezing in a black person's direction can be racism if they use some kind of technicality to justify it. Now, that's being a bit extreme, so I'll use something a little more realistic, something that they've actually utilized, like making eye contact, or not making eye contact for that matter, is technically racist, because the only thing that will prevent you from looking into the eyes of any minority group would be your racial biases or prejudices that have built up inside of you over time, whether or not you express them openly or outwardly, or you're openly saying that these things, these are the way that you feel. Technically speaking, because you are not looking them in the eye, that technically makes you a racist. Therefore, you are 100% a racist. And this is the philosophy that they go by. It's very easy for them to come to these conclusions. It's an easy setup. Well, based on this technicality, one could assume that you're a racist. So that means you are 100% definitely, without a doubt, a racist. And if you try to present a counter argument, then they'll hit you with another technicality to debunk it. So, okay, well, I'm a white person. You didn't look me in the eye. Does that mean you're a racist? Well, technically we can't be racist because somebody brought up some botched fucking definition of racism less than 50 years ago, and now that's the new definition that we use. So based on this imaginary thing that somebody came up with talking about power structures, and the fact that we have now completely dismantled the fact that individual cases of racism exist, and are now running with the concept that if it's not systemic, then it doesn't exist, then technically, because we have no systemic power, we can't be racist. So no, the answer is no. There's no way possible that it is in any way, shape, or form possible, no matter what we say or do, for us to be racist, technically, which means it's 100% true. Now let's move to violence now. So, here's a technicality that they use to justify or to, speak out against violence, or what they perceive to be violence. This person over here has no criminal record. They have done nothing physically wrong to anyone. They just have an opinion that I don't like. And technically speaking, this opinion has led to some people either getting hurt or dying. We have no proof that his words said it, but somebody somewhere in history has said those words before, and it has resulted in somebody getting hurt. So technically speaking, this person is literally using violence against another person by verbally saying words that have absolutely no effect on a person directly. Technically, they are physically assaulting another person because of the words that they are using. Technically. And now here comes the counter argument. Well, okay, people on your side are dressing up in all black, covering their faces, and actually physically assaulting people. Like they are actually inflicting harm on other human beings in a physical form. Isn't that violence? Well, no, technically it's not. Technically it's self-defense, because the words that they say have violent tendencies, and because these words are violent in itself, we are defending ourselves against physical violence by being violent back towards it. We're fighting fire with fire, technically. And the list goes on and on. I mean, you can find examples in the topic of free speech. You can find examples in the topic of gender. You can find examples in everything. Like literally, just take a moment to examine a lot of SJW arguments and just take a look at the foundation in every single one of them. Just about. I can't think of any. I'm having a really hard time thinking of any that aren't built on a total technicality, where they're just like, technically this is true, so I'm gonna say it's 100% true. I just, like, if you can think of any, let me know, because I can't really think of any at all. I have to say though, it is pretty genius though, because it's like the perfect system. You don't have to be honest about anything. You could make up whatever you want on the fly, as long as it's based on a technicality. And if that technicality falls through and it doesn't benefit your narrative, then you could just go back to the actuality and then just talk about the real shit that's actually true, and then you'll still be good. All the people on your side will be stupid enough to believe that the technicality is real, and then whenever it fits your narrative, you can always talk about actualities. It's fucking perfect. Dismiss anything that you don't like and pretend that it doesn't exist, and then just create shit on the fly to benefit your narrative because your side is too stupid to comprehend whether or not it's real or not. It's fucking, like, they have created this unbeatable machine, at least outwardly unbeatable. Like, it's very difficult to penetrate from the outside, but the bad thing about it, one of its major flaws, is it dismantles itself from the inside out. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any advice in this video, like, oh, way to combat this or something like that. It's just something that I thought I'd point out and to give my admiration to, because it's quite interesting to kind of witness this this whole thing take place. It's pretty amazing that they've come up with it, and they don't even realize it either. That's the fucked up part. They have fuckeried their way into a spiral of this this interesting situation that I don't even think a mad genius could have came up with, like, if he tried, because nobody in their right mind would have thought that it would work. Like, using hypocrisy and technicalities as a weapon, it just, nobody would have ever thought that that would have worked. But here we are, 2017. So just like any of my other videos, this is a conversation, and I'd like to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you are not following me currently on Instagram, Facebook, Minds, or Twitter, you can always follow me there at satsu2cents. I'm pretty active on most of them except for Instagram, but I'm trying to step that up a bit. Also, check out the links on the right side. I have a PayPal link. My email address is down below for a direct donation if you'd like to donate to my channel that way without any fees or strings attached. There's also the Patreon. Shout out to all of my patrons. Thank you for your support. And I also have a merchandise site that you guys can check out. So definitely show me some love if you guys want to. Hit that like button. That definitely helps out a lot. And share the video. That's another way to contribute if you guys can't contribute in a monetary way. Thank you guys once again for watching. I appreciate all of your support. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.